repeat after me. I
I, Lisa Ormond,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and the governments established in the United States
and the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of councilperson
perform all the duties of councilperson
of the First Ward
of the First Ward
for the term commencing January 1st, 2022
for the term commencing January 1st, 2022
and expiring December 31st,
and expiring December 31st,
2024,
2024,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm done.
First of all, say Happy New Year to the First Ward residents and say that I truly thank God for another year and for another term to serve the residents of the First Ward. I'd like to congratulate Councilman Armando Medina on his reelection. Armando's ward, we're kind of like joined at the hip. So there are a lot of things that happen in his ward that affect my ward, a lot of things that happen in my ward that affect his ward. So I thank you for being a wonderful person, an honest person, and an awesome councilman. You're just absolutely great to work with. And I look forward to the next 3 years of us working together in lockstep to make sure that our communities stay on target with the things that they're supposed to stay on for. I'd like to also thank my husband, Peter, who makes so much of this political nonsense possible. He carries his weight as husband and father, but he also picks up a lot of the mommy duties when I'm out campaigning, when I'm out in meetings, and when I'm out serving the public. So thank you with all my heart. You are an amazing husband, and God knew exactly what he was doing when he sent you my way. I love you. You're just absolutely wonderful. To my daughter, Kira, who walks with me, delivering flyers and holiday cards. She's just absolutely amazing. And I couldn't walk half that ward without her. To the residents of the First Ward, a special thank you for your faith in me and for your support. I'm going to never forget being so discouraged by a former elected official who told me that I could never be the First Ward council person because I did not have the demographic profile for this particular position. I didn't prove him wrong. All of you who came out and voted for me proved him wrong. Your vote for the past 3 elections said it all. Thank you for looking past my gender. Thank you for looking past my skin color. Thank you for looking past my religious beliefs and solely looking at my heart and my desire to serve you and the public. We are all different, but I do want to say that we are all the same. We want the same things. We want a safe place for our children. We want a safe place for our family. We want a quiet community, and we want the quality of life that we deserve. We want the progress. We want to see progress continue that has been going on over the past 6 years. We've seen potholes, sidewalks, paving, tree trimmings. We've seen these things addressed, and we're going to continue to see them addressed. The parks in our ward, they're being cleaned up, especially Dunn Park. I heard you loud and clear. It wasn't the best place for our children, but now it's being cleaned up and our children will have a safe place to play. I'm going to continue to push for improvements in our ward. I want our ward to be just as beautiful as any other part in Linden. Many of you call with your concerns and requests, and you frequently apologize for bothering me, but I always want to remind you that you're not bothering me. I bothered you first by knocking on your door, asking for your vote. I also want to let you know that I don't make promises because many times a lot of the things are out of my control. And the only thing that I can control is my finger and my email. I have always said that I'm going to call you back and I'm going to respond to your emails, and I will continue to do so. I want to thank my colleagues on council, and a special thank you to Thelma for being the other half of the Thelma and Louise team. And I just want to remind all of us on council that we should continue to always work together, because when we work together, the city benefits from it. Linden is definitely on the map, and we are on the map for so many positive things, more positive things than negative things. So let's continue to work together to make Linden the wonderful place that it is and that it should always be. Last but not least, I can't forget to thank those who stood by me when I began this journey 6 years ago. They walked, they knocked, they stuffed envelopes, they put out signs, they made calls, but mostly they kept me focused. They believed in my candidacy, and they made sure that I always believed in myself. When I wanted to kind of like just like throw in the towel, I was exhausted. They were like pushing me 100%. I called them my Notorious Nine: Jimmy Moore, Pete Buckley, Rich Pichelle, Rebecca Tottoli, Harry Exume, the late Karen Sheehy, the late Dennis Sheehy, my sister-in-law Danny Arlene. Last but not least, my brother Derek Armstead, the mayor of our great city. If you ever wonder what a sibling bond is, we got it. I know that he is somebody that I can count on through thick and he has my back. He has proven it time and time after again. So a special thank you to, like I said, the mayor. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. Thank you for always believing in me. Thank you for working so hard to help me. Yeah, we disagree. Yeah, we have some words, but you have all the time my utmost. I cannot thank you enough. Once again, thank you, First Ward. I am grateful for your vote. I am grateful to be your councilwoman. Mostly, I am blessed to be your friend and your neighbor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Workman, AKA Louise. Thelma and Louise are back in action.
We're back. And Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Linden City Hall Chambers. My name is Senator Nick Scutari. I represent the 22nd Legislative District that includes Linden, New Jersey. It's my honor and pleasure to be here today for the swearing-in ceremony of the 9th Ward Councilman Armando Medina. Welcome all to today's proceedings. We are joined by Commissioner Christopher Hudak and his wife and family, the city clerk, and Dawn Beviano holding the Bible. So without further ado, I'd like to have Councilman Medina join me along with Dawn Beviano, who will be holding the Bible. Please come forward. You'll stand there. Bible holder will be right in the center. Please place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand for the administration of the oath. I, Armando Medina, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform the duties as councilman of the 9th Ward for the City of Linden for the term commencing January 1st, 2022, and expiring December 31st, 2024. According to the best of my ability. So help me God. Congratulations, Councilman.
Thanks, Senator.
And according to that, if the councilman would like to say any words, thank you, Ms. Beviano, regarding your re-election for another 3-year term. Congratulations. The councilman does an amazing job here for his constituents here in the city of Linden. It's my pleasure to have the honor of swearing him in today. Councilman, anything on behalf of your constituents?
Yes, thank you, Senator. I just want to briefly first thank Senator Scutari for being here and swearing me in, Dawn Beviano for holding the Bible, my wife and my son being here and present, and of course, Commissioner Hudak here for the County of Union. It's been an honor to serve the folks, the residents of the 9th Ward. I look forward to serving the residents of the 9th Ward for the next 3 years. I have a lot in mind of what I would like to see, or which direction I'd like to see the 9th Ward continue to go in, and I will share that in my January 4th report for the residents of the 9th Ward. But I do look forward to serving the folks in the 9th Ward. It's exciting, a lot of new changes, and a lot of new things are happening next 3 years. But most importantly, we have to get through this pandemic and continue to move forward together as a community. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. And since we have Commissioner Hudak here, I'd like to ask him to come up and say just a few words on behalf of our council.
Thank you. Just a privilege to be here honoring Councilman Medina. He does an amazing job for the residents of the 9th Ward. And on behalf of the County Board of Commissioners, I look forward to working with him and the City of Linden in partnership to make Union County and the City of Linden a better place to live and to work. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Before we conclude, I do want to say not only was it an honor and privilege to be here as the legislative leader of the 22nd Legislative District, but also a constituent of Councilman Medina. He's my personal councilman in the 9th Ward in the city of Linden, and I can tell you that he does an amazing job for his constituents. That's why he's been reelected year after year, because of the performance he does for the citizens of the city of Linden, particularly the 9th Ward. With that, Councilman, congratulations to you, to your family, and to all. Have a happy New Year. Thank you, everyone.
Good evening, Council President Yamakaitis, members of the council, family, friends, and residents of the great city of Linden. As I begin my State of the City address, I would like to thank each of you and wish you all a happy and healthy new year. I would have preferred to see you all in person, but however, due to COVID restrictions, much to my chagrin, we'll have to do this virtually. Before I begin, I want to extend congratulations to our re-elected council members. Councilwoman Lisa Orman of the 1st Ward, Councilman Armando Medina of the 9th Ward. They are both valued members of my administration. Let me begin by saying the city, your city, is stronger than ever. We're no longer a city of smokestacks or oil refineries. Rather, we're a city that has proven that industry, commerce, and our residents can live and work cohesively. We have proven it is not merely improving the past, it is moving forward toward the future. It is a great honor to come before you this evening as Linden's mayor. Our goal shall always be to keep the best interests of our valued residents in the forefront of our minds. You will always be the shining light that guides us. What I hope to provide, and what you have every right to expect, is this administration's most dedicated efforts for the betterment of the residents of our city. My goal has been, is, and shall always be to focus on the taxes our residents pay. In this most important aspect, I am more than proud that our city taxes, along with our garbage and sewer taxes, have not been raised for the last 5 years. To my knowledge, there is no other city in Union County, and perhaps this state, that can make that representation. It is important for our residents to know that we did this without layoffs and without elimination of any essential services. Let me also mention our Linden Board of Education. Although this board is an autonomous body, I was able to share my vision of the tax burden with them and have received their full cooperation in keeping their part of the tax bill at a 0% increase. This is the 3rd consecutive year that they have accomplished this. Council and I applaud them for their efforts, and our appreciation goes out to them. The progress we have made in this area of taxation is not only for the present, but for future generations as well. The revenue from redevelopment has been a vital part in helping us achieve this goal. We have seen this manifest in Linden through the incredible increase of our property values, the highest in the history of our city. I would like to show you from where our increased revenue to ease the tax burden will be derived. The Linden Logistics Center in our Trimley Point area of town. This 4.1 million square feet of Class A warehousing already has 2 tenants, world-class distribution services, and a second tenant, Peloton. There are currently 6 additional buildings that are under construction. This center will generate $198 million in tax revenue for the city over the next 30 years. The Citizen Linden at 307 West Elizabeth Avenue. 234 luxury apartment units will be at this location, with 292 parking spaces. There's also 4,500 square feet of retail space available. This development will generate $25.2 million in taxes for the city over the next 30 years. Meridian 1001 on West Elizabeth Avenue. This is the former United Lacquer building, which was demolished. Full construction should start in the spring of 2022. There'll be 402 residential apartment units with amenities also, with retail on the ground floor. The city will take in over $30 million in revenue over the next 30 years. Center Point, which is the former Walmart shopping center, 315,000 square feet of Class A warehousing has been approved, with full construction to begin in the spring. This is the former Linden Plaza shopping center, and the city expects to bring in $22 million in tax revenues over the next 30 years. City Village, 1140 East St. George Avenue. 113 luxury apartment units with amenities have been built. It is 100% occupied with 18,000 square feet of retail space, which includes a restaurant. This development will generate $12 million in tax revenue for the city over the next 30 years. Meridian Lifestyles 2 on Southwood Avenue. This 145 apartment unit is at 85% occupancy with 8,600 square feet of retail space. This particular project will generate $16 million in tax revenue for the city over the next 30 years. DC Hospitality, Cube Smart Self-Storage, and Wood Spring Suites on East Linden Avenue. This property was vacant land for decades. The Wood Spring Suite is fully operational and the Cube Smart facility is fully operational. This particular pilot will generate $14 million for the city over the next 30 years. RNG Energy, the former Clayton Block. This property has been stagnant for decades. This facility will turn organic waste into a natural gas and other organic recycled material. The project is scheduled to generate over $39 million in taxes over the next 30 years, with additional host community benefits to the city of Linden. Gothel's Commerce Park at 2525 Brunswick Avenue. This is the former Simmons Mattress Factory. The building, the existing building, was over 100 years old. This is 290,000 square feet of Class A warehousing space, which is approved. This particular property will generate $37 million in tax revenues over the next 30 years. The Clark redevelopment project in the corner of West Elizabeth Avenue and Northwood Avenue. This particular property will generate over $52 million in tax revenues for the city. As you have heard, these redevelopment projects and their revenue will realize approximately $450 million in revenues over the next 30 years for the city of Linden. Legacy Square Shopping Center is one of our biggest thriving developments. It's home to many eateries such as Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell, Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, Panda Express, and Wingstop. It's also home to our flagship Walmart. We expect more businesses when the leases have been signed by the property owner. On another note, we have many events that have taken place and projects that have been contemplated. For the last several years, we have honored our hometown veterans by hanging banners on our light poles along Wood Avenue. These veterans have served and in some cases given their life in the service of our armed forces. We also hosted dinner for these veterans and their families. This reception in their honor has been so well received that it has become a tradition, which we will continue. During this most difficult time, because of the pandemic, when people were not able to work and families had fallen on hard times, we were able to provide food and in many cases had it personally delivered. We did this through donations from our residents and corporate neighbors. The appreciation was overwhelming and the feeling was heartwarming. Another part of this pandemic that we addressed was how difficult it was to receive the vaccine and also the opportunity to be tested. Since May, we have provided a facility at our PAL building for easy access to the vaccine. Now, with the latest outbreak of the virus, we're offering availability to be tested at our JTG Recreation Center and our PAL building. Ensuring that we can continue to push the city forward, we have partnered with Pastor Pamela Jones and Communities in Cooperation for our Linden First program, where we host job opportunities for our residents. I'm very proud of our fire and police departments. During this pandemic, they have worked without concern for their well-being. The Chief of Police, Chief Hart, and his department continue to work diligently to keep our community safe. I would like to thank the police for taking their time to host National Night Out and their other community policing programs. I want to thank the Chief of the Fire Department, Chief Haskell, and all our firefighters for enabling our children and their families to attend the Fire Prevention Night and their fire safety programs. What is of paramount importance is the protection of our children and our families, and I applaud both departments for their efforts. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the employees of our Public Works Department, who often work in very difficult conditions. I want them to know how much their efforts are appreciated. I point to the last hurricane that hit the Northeast, Hurricane Ida, and the work they did to restore our city back to normal. My sincere thanks to each department in our city. You have contributed so much to the goals of this administration and continue to help move our great city forward. Thank you, each and every one of you, for your hard work and efforts. A special thanks go to my office staff who take care of the day-to-day operations of my office. It's a very busy office, and my staff has handled it with the utmost professionalism. I thank them for taking this journey with me. Recently, I directed our Special Improvement District Director, Mike Bono, to start the process of changing the facades on our buildings in the downtown area. Along with the Special Improvement District Director and his office manager, Mickey Ponticello, and my Chief of Staff, Alex Laspinoso, we visited various towns to look at the facades on buildings in other downtown areas. Now, this is a monumental project that is still in the planning stage. I feel confident we can get this done. It blends in with our redevelopment, making our storefronts more attractive. We believe this will encourage people to shop and support our local businesses here on Wood Avenue. Let me also report that the funding for this project will come from the budget allotted to the Special Improvement District. We had, in cooperation with our City Council, the Cultural and Heritage Committee, the Special Improvement District, the Mayor's Youth Commission, and all of the ethnic committees, which were all geared toward the different multicultural segments of our city. All these festivals were well attended by our residents and other visitors to our city. It was our effort to bring all of our ethnic groups together. My thanks and appreciation goes to all those who are involved and to the volunteers who made these events possible and special for all of us. We are honored this past September with the presence of the First Lady and President Duda of Poland. As a community, we were all honored to have them visit the great city of Linden. This visit made our Polish population very proud. As a matter of fact, it made all of us proud. And was the first time in history that a head of state visited our great city of Linden. Once again, at this holiday time, we were happy to be able to celebrate the Christmas tree lighting, our breakfast with Santa, and the lighting of the menorah. The smiles of all made this holiday time very special. This is not the time for political comment, but I cannot avoid the obvious. Yes, I will be seeking re-election in 2022. If elected, it will be my third term as your mayor. If the people of our city choose to re-elect me, I pledge to continue to work tirelessly and to be accessible to you. I want each of you to know that my leadership skills as your mayor will go into this job. I recognize that the authority I have comes from you, the people, and you have the right to expect my most dedicated efforts. In closing, it is a great honor for me to be your mayor. I so much appreciate the confidence and the help you have given me over these 7 years. Besides my family and their well-being, this city is my first priority. To my family and my wife, I sincerely want to thank you for the support you continue to provide. I pledge to you, the residents of this city, I will continue to lead this city and its financial ship in a way that will make everyone proud. This is what I work to achieve, and I'll end by saying, I will always keep Linden first.